All right, here we go.
All right.
Your name and where you from?
My name is Paris. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland. I reside in Jacksonville, Florida for 20 years.
Okay then. All right, Mr. Paris. In dating and relationships, what advice would you give young people starting off in the dating world? Like what key points would you want them to, pay attention to and look out for?
Well, the thing about dating, I take it pretty serious. I've been married for like 28 years.
Mm-hmm.
I dated my wife for 2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
So I pretty much knew we was gonna get married because we was friends. That's one thing I would say. So if you choose somebody to date, that should be your friend, somebody you trust, somebody you can tell everything, you can talk to, you can confide in. Also, prayerfully consider the person that you want to be with. That's the key point. A lot of people forget that part. Having God involved in their relationships. So He's gonna help you, mend things together and make things right, make things whole. Because you take things to Him, He always leads you in the right direction and give you the right answer when it comes to choosing a mate. So that would be my advice. Make sure she's a spiritual woman, faithful woman, somebody you can build with, a friend, and somebody you can trust.
Okay. Okay, so in dating and relationships, what would you constitute as a healthy relationship?
Somebody got a good spiritual bond with each other. Somebody that's committed to the one person. And somebody marrying somebody with a view to a strong commitment like marriage. So that's my view on dating and relationships.
Okay.
Some people they get in relationships, man, they with this person and they with that person. They're not faithful to this person and they jump into somebody else they think might be better. And they just jumping from person to person. And that's not healthy and that's not good. For them as an individual and for the people that they're hurting along the way. So my whole thing is if you're going to date somebody, you should date them with the view to this is the person I want to spend the rest of my life with potentially. So that's how I view dating. I don't think you should play with that. You know what I'm saying? It's a serious thing.
Right.
And it's something, that you date to see if this is a person that I want to build my life with. It's not something that you should just be playing with. That's just my thoughts. And I'm just one person.
Right. Okay. I respect that. Okay, so in relationships, what is the highest level of self-respect you feel someone can have for themselves? Like in a relationship, what advice would you give to people as in like what they should simply not tolerate in a relationship?
Infidelity.
Okay.
Definitely don't tolerate that. And respect.
Okay.
I want a woman that's going to respect me for who I am as a man. And this is the thing about respect. It's not automatically given; it's earned. I think we confuse that as men, especially black men. They think we automatically supposed to get respected by a woman. If you're not doing nothing that merits respect, then she's not going to respect you. Especially if she doesn't feel secure. If she doesn't feel secure within the relationship, you giving her reason not to respect you. And if you're going to be in a relationship where you're not going to be respected, there's no sense of even being in that relationship. So to get that respect and be a person to not tolerate it, meaning is that you are, number one, you doing what you're supposed to do as a man as far as the relationship. So, okay, I merit the respect. And I'm going to respect you, meaning the way that I'm going to verbalize things to you, the way I treat you, and the way I care for you. I'm going to respect you. And I expect the same thing, especially if I'm giving it.
Word up to that. Okay. Okay, so in dating and relationships, what does communication mean to you? And what advice would you give on how to address a lack of communication?
That's the thing about what's gonna help you be a good communicator.
Mm-hmm.
That's a key part in any relationship, because you're gonna communicate with the person that you trust.
Mm-hmm.
So if I trust you, I'm gonna communicate with you. I'm gonna let you know where I'm at, and that's part about respecting. If I respect you enough, I'm gonna make sure you know where I'm at all times. And if I'm going through something, I'm gonna communicate with you, because number one, you my soulmate. You my potential spouse, and without communication, man, there is no relationship.
Mm-hmm.
So communicating openly is huge in a relationship. And if you communicate with God openly, and you view your woman as somebody you're gonna spend the rest of your life with, somebody that's special, you're gonna openly communicate with her. And if you don't do that, then you can't be in a relationship.
Mm-hmm. Okay. In dating and relationships, what are some things you think that can be done for trust to be established or to maintain trust within a relationship? Like, what advice would you give? Like
being honest.
Okay.
Honesty. Include prayer in your relationship, because if you're a person that trusts in God, He's going to teach you how to be a trustworthy person. And if your wife or your girlfriend or your mate is the same, then she's going to be trustworthy and trust you too. So you gotta have some type of spiritual connection.
Okay.
To number one, to feel like I want to be trusted, and I want my girl to trust me too.
Right. Okay. You probably already touched on a bit of this, but I guess my last question on this: what advice would you give to young men when courting a young lady, as in do's and do nots?
Well, keep everything above board. I know this is gonna sound corny to a lot of people, but I believe that if you're gonna date somebody, you should respect her enough to wife her before you lay with her.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So if that's somebody that you know that you're gonna be with for the rest of your life, then you willing to wait to do sexual stuff with her until after you get married. And that's the part about being a spiritual person. The spiritual minded people believe that, and that's how they live their life, and that's how they stay pretty much in these long-term committed relationships, because they're including God in it.
Okay.
That's just, like I said, I'm just one guy.
Yeah.
One person.
Yeah.
And that's just how I feel. And that's how I live my life.
Okay, that's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Okay. What is, in your opinion, what is considered a true friend?
Man, somebody that is willing to tell you what you don't want to hear, and is willing to say it to you, even though you might get mad and y'all might disagree. And just because y'all disagree don't mean y'all ain't friends no more. We disagree. But that makes the relationship even stronger. Iron sharpens iron. I don't want to be around nobody that's always in agreement with me. I could be out here messing up all kinds of ways, and you supposed to be my boy, and you watching me do that. That's not a true friend.
Word.
But if you see me, going the wrong way, or not being right, and hey man, don't do that. That's a true friend. Come over here, man. I wouldn't do that if I was you. That's gonna get you in trouble. That's a bad decision. See, that's a true friend.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody that's got your best interest at heart at all times.
Definitely, definitely. Okay. Um, what does self-love mean to you, and what are some ways um, you feel it can be expressed, or what are some things you feel like you can do to express that to yourself, or some things that you actually do to express that to yourself?
That's a good question, man. Because I know a lot. I know when I was coming up, being younger, I ain't really take care of myself like I was supposed to. So maybe I didn't love myself. Not that I'm arrogant or anything like that. I just didn't care for myself.
Mm-hmm.
And as I got older, um, and was taught by older men,
Mm-hmm.
you gotta take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually, man. That makes you whole. If you care about yourself, if you love yourself, you'll do everything possible to take care of yourself. And people gonna see that in how you talk, how you dress, how you treat other people.
Mm-hmm.
They can say that's a person that got mad self-respect, and it reflects in how he respects and treats others.
Okay. Definitely, definitely. Okay, okay, okay. What do you think it means to be a man in today's society?
Um, a man in today's society, a guy who has strong values, has a good work ethic, that's responsible, that's honest, trustworthy, compassionate, a guy who got godly qualities,
Mm-hmm.
and who applies the fruits of the spirit within his own life: love, joy, peace, all those things that God reflects. He reflects it in his own life, and it reflects and shows in how he treats other people. That's a real man.
Okay, for sure. Okay. How do you think women can be respected better in the world today? And how do you feel they can respect themselves better? Two-part question.
Well, um, we can respect them in how we treat them, man. Don't be calling them the B word and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And just show them some respect,
Mm-hmm.
because they deserve it.
Mm-hmm.
And then women should have some self-respect for themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and how they dress and how they talk and treat other people. I mean, I know when my mom came up, women didn't talk like they talk today. Use a whole bunch of profanity and just be wilding. You know what I'm saying? They was more respectable, and they dressed respectable. They ain't just show everything. Now women don't really leave nothing to the imagination. So it's like if you put cheese on the floor, you're gonna attract rats. But if you don't do that, if you don't show all yourself, you might mess around and attract the right type of person that you really want to be with, somebody that's gonna respect you.
Mm-hmm.
But people can tell whether you respect yourself and how you present yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So if women and guys present themselves in a respectable way, then they're gonna merit the respect that they're looking to get. If that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes
You know
sense.
what I'm saying? And as far as how we view women, we should view women as the weaker vessel. Not that they're weak, but that they're a woman. And you gotta handle a woman fragilely. You can't be rough with them. So you gotta talk to them in a respectable way and treat them in a respectable way.
Mm-hmm.
Just like you want to be treated, you should treat the woman the same way, in that respectful way. But I guess that's the best way I can answer the question. That's how they can get respect, and that's how we should respect them.
Definitely. Okay, okay. If there was one thing in the world that you could change, if there was one thing about the world that you could change right now, what would it be and why?
Um, crime, violence, um, war. That's more than one thing, but it's all the same thing.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, just try to help people to be more peaceable. That's how it's supposed to be anyway, man. We don't supposed to be living like this. The world's not supposed to be living like this. And if I could have the power to change it, I would. But the scriptures say things are going to change soon for the better, and that's the time I look forward to when we will be under peaceable conditions and just be ruled by God rather than man. Man, we can't rule ourselves. People out here wilding from the top to the bottom. And if I could just change that attitude within a man to just be more peaceable, that's the one thing that I would change.
That's what's up. Okay. How do you view black people in the world today? And how do you see black people in the future going forward?
I mean, I love black people, man. I just think that I would hope that we or black people would become more united and unified in the future. That's what I would hope, and that's what I would want. But that encompasses everybody. Not just us as black people, but we all just become more united and unified. But we so imperfect, man, it's hard for us to do that. But if we could, that's what I would want. For black folk and all people, man.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. I appreciate you. I respect your opinion, sir.
No.
Yes, sir. All right, here we go.
All right, man.
It's Titanium Tim Poetry. Our perspectives, our opinions heard loud and clear. Anything you want to say? Last remarks?
Oh, man, just peace, love, man. Peace, love, man. And thanks for hearing me out. We all got an opinion.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's good to express it and people hear it.
That is true. And I thank you for your opinion. I appreciate you. All right, our perspectives, our opinions heard loud and clear. Peace out. See y'all in the next one.
Peace.
All right.